Hi everyone, and welcome back to Kids Continued. Thanks so much for joining us again this week, and I hope you guys are doing well. I don't know about you, but these last few weeks have been kind of crazy. And there's been times when I've been scared, and other times when it's been like quite cool because we've been at home and we get to spend time with our families, or even play games and things that we maybe wouldn't normally get to. So all of this sort of reminded me a bit about what Paul is going through. And obviously he's in jail, and we're not sitting in jail, but we're staying home to keep our family safe and friends safe. But Paul being in jail, he was there for a really long time, and he must have been scared at times and nervous, but he had one thing that we also have. He had God with him, and he believed in God, and he trusted God for whatever was going to come, and we can have that too. Felix knew that Paul believed in Jesus, and over the next 2 years, Paul and Felix would meet together, and Paul would tell Governor Felix all about Jesus. They would talk about his faith in Jesus, about righteousness and self-control, and how one day God would come and judge the whole world. Now, when it came time for a new governor to come into power, Felix didn't release Paul. But the new governor, Governor Festus, he decided that he was going to find out from the Jewish leaders in Jerusalem what was going on. Now, back in Caesarea, we have Governor Festus, the Jewish leaders, and Paul, who have all come together. Paul yet again had another opportunity to share the gospel with another Roman leader, Governor Festus, and Paul told him all about who Jesus was and his faith in Jesus. At this time, the Jewish people were really angry about this, and they were again trying to get Paul killed. But Paul had done nothing wrong under the Jewish or the Roman law, so they couldn't prove anything. Paul then said, "I have done nothing wrong, and I want to speak to Caesar." While Paul was waiting to be moved to Rome and speak to Caesar, King Agrippa and Queen Bernice came to visit Festus and Paul yet again had another opportunity to share the gospel with other people, and these were powerful rulers. And he would tell them all about Jesus and what Jesus has done for us, how he died on the cross to save us from our sin, and not just us, but everybody. Even though Paul was in jail, and in jail for a really long time, he still had faith in God and trusted in him, and he knew that God had a plan for whatever Paul was going through. And that must have been true, because as we have seen, Paul was able to spend a lot of time telling kings and governors and even the people he met in the jail all about Jesus. So, even though Paul was in prison and it was a bad situation, that was able to be used to share the good news of Jesus and God. Even though we aren't in jail like Paul was, I know our world is looking a little different to how we are used to. So I hope and pray that you remember that God is always there with you and that he can help you through this time. And maybe he's put things in your life and people in your life that you are able to share his story with, that you can share the love of God and the love of Jesus with this person, and maybe they really need to hear it at this time. I hope you guys have a beautiful week, and this week keep an eye out and have a look and see how many ways God is protecting you and helping you, just like he did Paul.